Hi, I'm Teena Stewart with Serendipity Studio, and I thought I would just show you how I make a large fused glass. I call them frozen ice bowls. These are made with recycled glass, and um, I start, actually this happened by accident. I first started working with what is called safety glass. And that's like the glass that would be in a windshield. If it breaks, it just crackles and it doesn't break into shards or anything. Um, so I've done using that type of glass, which is hard to get. You probably will need to go to a place like a auto repair or a windshield replacement place. Although I have gone to a local glass place, they don't get that as much. However, and once I ran out of that, I was trying to find the same stuff and accidentally got what I thought was that safety glass for tables. And someone pointed me to go to a local thrift store, and they had huge glass pieces in the back that were former tabletops, and so there were two of them, and I think I paid $10, I'm sorry, for two huge pieces, like dining room table size, with the largest piece I got. And that glass is, I don't know if you can see this, but it's I think this is about a 1/4 inch size piece. Actually, sorry, it's actually, I just measured it. It's a 1/2 inch. So it was thicker than I thought, and it didn't break like I thought. I thought it would do the fracturing thing where they were real connected together, but this didn't. So it broke in sizable chunks. And I'll show you how I break it, but you do have to be careful if you go to break it, so that you don't get hurt. I wear safety glasses and use a hammer and a towel. I've seen people do other things, but this is how I do it. And then I break it on actually I have an outside patio that's below our deck that I break things on, but when it's cold weather, I go inside my inner sanctum in my kiln room and break it on that floor. So I'm going to show you how. I have some pieces that are pretty good size already, but they're a little too big, so I'm going to break those up to be a little bit smaller, and then I'll show you what I do with them. Okay, so I'm putting on gloves. These are actually just garden gloves, but you can get glass gloves. You want to make sure that you have safety goggles on when you do this, because shards can go flying. All right, so forgot my goggles, had to go back and get them. So here's a big piece, pretty good size. Too big for what I want to do with it. I just need to break it up a little bit, and then I cover it over and I give it a tap, hoping I broke it. Nope. This stuff's hard. Doesn't always work. Nope. Okay. So you can see that I broke that. Here's a really big one. It's not always easy to do either. Okay. Sometimes you gotta uncover it, but you get the idea. Okay, so we've got some broken glass that I've got, and I'm going to show you this bowl. This is a large bowl I got from a glass place. It's carried by Bullseye Glass, and it is, forgot to measure the height on this. I mean, you can do this with any size bowl, but this is a large one, and it is 8 inches high and 12 inches across. And before I do this, I always prep the bowl with spray silicone so that the glass doesn't stick to it. And really, once you start doing this, it's like a puzzle piece. The bowl has a curve, and as you go up, it kind of has a bell shape as it goes out. And I really, at this point, I don't really need these gloves, but you do want to be careful because you can still cut yourself on this glass. So what I do is I'll start in the bottom, and I want glass pieces. I mean, you can use smaller pieces than this, but I like about this size piece. And it's kind of tricky to get the size you want. And then you start just filling in the bowl with the size of pieces that you want. And start putting them in the bottom. And that's kind of a weird one. It's got some lines on it, but I think it's interesting. So I'm going to use it. Let's see. We've got this weird shape here I'm trying to fill in. And sometimes if the glass doesn't break with a flat edge on the side, it can be a little tricky. So you just start filling it in and then stacking it as you go up. Now, the thing I have learned with this is that you want to start with larger pieces in the bottom, and if you have smaller pieces, they can get a little smaller as they go up. The reason for that is if you put small here and go up with heavier, as the glass heats, it's going to kind of start folding in on itself. So you don't want that to happen because they can fall, it can create ridges. This will end up with pieces where there's gaps within it. So it's not going to hold a liquid. It'll leak if you put liquid in there. But sorry for the cough. Anyway, you just want to keep doing this and build it as you go up. And it can get a little tricky sometimes to find just the right piece for the next section, but you want to try to get it as good as you can in there. Maybe there's another piece there, and you can maybe find another piece like that. I don't know if you can see it. And then I go up to about here, and it's going to condense as it goes down. So I'll just put a few more pieces in, and then we can, I'll show you once I get it all stacked in there what it looks like. And I actually want the edges on this to be uneven because I think it's more interesting. Okay, so here it is. You can see the unevenness. Sometimes I make them even more uneven than that. And those are all gonna melt and kind of sink down. And I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out of the kiln. Okay, I almost forgot to show the finished piece. Here is what this looks like once it comes out of the mold. And I don't know if you can see this, but there are a few places in here where there's kind of ridges inside. It's pretty tricky to try to get it where it doesn't fold down on itself, but it is absolutely gorgeous. It's like an aqua color, and these typically turn out to be, when I can get the right size chunks in there, about 5.5 inches high. And you can see I deliberately do the edges where they're not going to be even because that adds a lot to the character. And that's how I call them fused glass ice bowls because they look like ice. Thanks for watching, and I forgot to mention, if you will please like and follow my YouTube channel, and be sure to check the description for all my videos. I'll be going back and tweaking some of those, but information on where you can purchase this bowl is in there, and as well as my Facebook page and additional information.